Yo, guys, it's been a minute, and today we're back. Today we want to talk about Zoro versus Law. We're taking Egghead Law and the Law that fought Blackbeard. And the reason we're doing those, and I feel like this is a more contentious debate and one that's more close, and one I don't hear that's talked about a lot. Well, let me not lie, it's talked about a lot, but this is my own spin on it and my own takes. And y'all want to hear it? If y'all want to hear it. Hey, let's go. First, we're going to start out with Zoro, then move on to Law. Then at the end, we're going to have a battle simulator and see who really wins. Hey, like and subscribe, and also make sure to hype the video so you can get more of these videos coming out faster and not have to wait 4 or 5 months. Hey, now let's move on to Zoro. And we know Zoro coming into the Onigashima raid is the strongest he's ever been, as he got Enma and is starting to emulate this haki, this Odin haki, or this new type of haki that he has. And as we can see, with this level of AP, he's able to harm things like Dragon Kaido. As we can see, even in the anime, it just blatantly has a Kaido think he's fucking Odin or something, and just makes, and Big Mom yells at him to dodge a techno. It could damage him. Also, he also has many other feats, like he has Foxfire style that can cut down the fire, which is not really AP. And then we can move on to he can blocks the eco sovereignty. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I think it's eco sovereignty. And he gets all of his bones damn near broken, and he's still able to stand. Then he's able to outpace a suppressed hybrid Kaido and reopen the scar, which is very impressive in my opinion. Very well. It should be impressive for really like anybody, but then we see Kaido hitting at him having conquerors, and then Law brings him down to the floor and heal him up. Then we see him and Sanji go fight the respective all stars, with Zoro fighting King, and we can see at this point Zoro finally unlocks his conquerors and enters King of Hell, shit, and unlocks Advanced Conquerors Haki, which we know is a very powerful AP boost. Looking at Luffy, we also know that he managed to go from not being able to even really hurt King to really just slicing through his strongest attack like butter and one tapping him without his flames on. Really more like a 3-tap, but we you know what I'm talking about, 1 tap. And then we know when looking at Luffy's Advanced Conquerors Haki, we can really tell that this is a big Advanced Conquerors Haki, is a bigger AP boost than Ashura. And look at how he was already able to scar or size reopen the scar from Kaido. We should know, which is kind of crazy, he should be able to do more damage to Kaido. This is the suppressed Kaido, which would mean he would have no problem attacking and hurting Law, really. But not too much to go on Law's durability for right now. Next, let's move on to Zoro's speed, which Zoro has underrated speed at. As we can see him able to grab Luffy and dodge suppress Big Mom's attack. While also, he has another speed feat where he's able to block the ocean sovereignty, which the others were already in place for, but he was still able to get over there fast enough to block the attack, which is impressive. And then we even see later on, he proceeds to get all his bones broken from the attack and still able to attack suppress the Kaido, hybrid Kaido. And then we know at the end of Onigashima, we know he's already just stronger than the one on the rooftop, as King of Hell is just like he's just overall stronger, as we know, just King of Hell in general. And I'm not saying he's at this Yonko level combatant like Luffy or Kaido level, but he's able to tag and run around with suppressed Yonkos with his speed. As this is even shown in Egghead, as Lucci's able to get a hit on a suppressed Luffy, Gear 5 Luffy. And you know, Zoro, when he decides to just lock in, is just able to speed blitz that Lucci. It's just showing that Zoro has suppressed Yonko levels of speed, even above that now in Egghead. As we can now move on to hacks, which we know Zoro doesn't have really many hacks, to be honest, but we can look at his air slashes, his advanced conquerors, which will be very important in this battle. As we know, Haki can overpower devil fruit abilities, like how we can look at even Law and see how when he was turned into a woman, he was able to use his Haki to revert himself back to a man just by, you know what I'm saying, powering up his Haki. It also keeps people like Kaido and Big Mom when fighting Law to just not get shambled into the sea or something like that and just instant die. So hockey is a really powerful ability, especially with Zoro's advanced conquers. If he wants a good chance to really kill Law, he would have to use a lot of hockey to just try to like negate some of his double fruit abilities and stop some of the trickery that's going on. But we had to see next. Now let's shamble. Now let's use shambles and move on to Law. Boom. When looking at Law, we know he's much harder to scale physically than Zoro. Looking at just because really he's more of a devil for merchant, to be honest. But when we look at the scale, his physicals, we can see he's capable of dodging attacks from Kaido and Big Mom, while also being able to survive Gura attacks from Blackbeard. Knowing this, knowing he had to take these as he was getting jumped probably, and it was just Blackbeard just using the Gura entirely. So it's just really headcanon to me, but to me it seems more believable that he did use Gura on Law. And well, that's really all the physicals I really got for him, which I mean shows he has suppressed Yonko levels of speed too physically. Well, next we're gonna look at his hacks. His hacks are kind of crazy, and we know he got devil fruit, ope in space if you're in the room. When you're in the room, he can use things like electricity, gamma knife to cut your organ, tack to raise rocks and point them at you and kill you. There's a lot of things he can do, but it's just crazy. He can use shambles to teleport you. But that's really it for all his hacks, though. AP, he doesn't really have AP. Well, his AP is really during negation. He doesn't have select attack potency. He has during negation with things like gamma knife and stuff. So he can target your insides and not really need to hurt you physically. And next, his most important stat here, as we know, Law doesn't have the best durability. Not known for his durability and endurance like Zoro. Next, we're going to speed. We can see Law with speed is able to react to things with room, like Kaido. How he's able to keep Luffy's head from getting smacked like a baseball. There's also a scene in the anime where Big Mom just can't hit him as he's just moving through the room in shambles. It's just his speed is really impressive. Well, that wraps up Law scaling and Zoro scaling. Time to get to the battle simulator. Let's go. Hey, let's set out the ground rules. If you get knocked out or killed, you lose. Obviously. Alright, well, let's get into it. Well, looking at Law, he's going to first probably start out with a room and use something like tack to try to drop something on Zoro's head. But Zoro's going to do that. And due to him knowing Law's ability, he wouldn't have to adapt like he normally does. He's just going to easily cut it. Now, both know they can't hold back now. So one has to go into Awakening, which is Law. And then Zoro is going to use his Advanced Conquerors. And from what I know, neither of them should know about either or these power-ups. So they both won't have any prep time. Then Law, he will start using shambles to teleport around to try to find an opening to land his Awakening. And Zoro is just going to have to be straight up. But since there's no other people around, Law's going to have a harder time. So he's going to have to use things like tack and try to distract him. And then eventually he's going to land a Shock Willy, which will damage Zoro greatly. But his endurance is crazy, as we can see with the equal sovereignty. And then Zoro gets up, and then eventually he adapts to it like how he does against King. And Law, I'm sorry, man. It's up for you. Zoro will hit 103 Dalmatians, the attack he used on King, and it's up for Law. He doesn't have enough durability to survive an Advanced Conqueror's attack. And well, here's the winner for today. Rora Nora Zoro. Yeah, there you go, guys. I think Zoro wins this majority of the time. It's a reason it's a close battle, but Law's feats are just not more impressive than Zoro's, in my opinion, as a lot of Law's feat comes off catching Emperors by surprise. 1v1 is not his strongest game, and then fighting somebody like Zoro who has Advanced Conquerors, which will really just is a really bad matchup for him, as one or two named attacks will put Law down. And yeah, That's really the end for this video, guys. And catch y'all next time. I'm out.